Coming up on Murrow News 8, a WSU fraternity is being investigated.
And news on the Pullman City Council meeting. Murrow News 8 starts now.
From the Northwest Public Broadcasting Studios on the campus of Washington State University, this is Murrow News 8.
WSU fraternity has been suspended following allegations of hazing, physical harm, and drug and alcohol violation. The fraternity Alpha Sigma Phi is being investigated from incidents last fall. The same house was sanctioned in 2020 for hazing, alcohol, and drug violations. The house is currently suspended from all chapter activities.
33-year-old Lane Taylor Hunting Smith, who was accused of raping a young girl, is now facing 4 additional charges after being arrested on Monday on 1 count of felony first-degree child rape. Smith denied all accusations to officers prior to his arrest and pled not guilty on all 5 counts on Friday in Whitman County Superior Court. He is being held in the Whitman County Sheriff's Office on $500,000 bail.
A rape case against 21-year-old WSU student Jace Carnahan has been dropped after no new information was presented by the defense. Carnahan was charged with rape and assault after being accused of raping a female student at a fraternity party last May. Tessa Scholl, Whitman County Senior Deputy, received new information from Carnahan's private defense attorney and then dropped the case. Carnahan is no longer in his fraternity and is still listed as a WSU student.
Whitman County Commissioners will hear from the public Monday night about wind energy regulations. This comes after they placed a 6-month memorandum on the new commercial wind turbine application earlier this month. The project has drawn opposition from large groups of locals called Save the Palouse, who are urged the farm should not impact the natural national landmark.
2 ASWSU senators responded to allegations of ethics violations in the latest Senate meet. One senator, Cassidy Collins, was under fire for a comment made during an ASWSU Zoom meeting, where she said she didn't want to be there. Collins expressed regret about the comment and concluded her statement thanking the Senate for the opportunity to address the allegations. Taryn Beck, the other senator with an apparent ethics violation, was accused of making comments to a friend during a Senate meeting that went against the ethics bylaw of ASWSU. Beck apologized but denied she ever said the statement.
ASWSU meets Wednesday to discuss upcoming events, campus issues, and resolutions. In partnership with local businesses, ASWSU and GPSA will be hosting an event called Downtown Day, April 5th, 1 to 5 p.m. Also, a freshman delegate proposed a resolution to Senate that gives students a better understanding on what they are eating in the dining halls. Lastly, a proposed resolution to improve infrastructure around Flag Lane.
Pullman City Council voted to confirm Brett Nash as the city's new fire chief on Tuesday night. Nash is coming from the Henderson Fire Department in Nevada, where he served as the battalion chief for 5 years. Mike Heston will be returning on February 7th, where Nash is expected to take his place. Heston has been serving as Pullman fire chief since 2013 and has been a firefighter for Pullman since 1996.
Washington State University Parking and Transportation Task Force has proposed a 3-year parking rate increase. The rate adjustment is intended to address the cost of labor and materials that were required for campus maintenance. WSU is seeking public feedback through February the 16th. The change will take effect on July 1st.
The Globe is trotting their way to Pullman as the Harlem Globetrotters come to town. Their 2025 World Tour brings them to Beasley Coliseum February 4th at 7 p.m. Tickets are available now.
Coming up, we'll be hearing from business owners on how they feel about post-completion of downtown Pullman.
And how the LA Fires help bring a famous Pacific Northwest band get back together once again.
Touchdown! Oh, did you see that? Whoa, we scored? Yeah, we scored. We're going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. What? I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Hey, why does my face look like that?
I'm playing with these new face filters.
Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine.
But I need that back.
No.
Kevin!
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Yo, Scott.
Hey.
I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Oh, you know what? I was just in there. The line is like 10 people long.
You know, I think I'll just...
Dude, are you okay?
You wouldn't believe what I was just thinking. I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this, and I will take that ride home.
Smart man.
Did you see how that dog was looking at me?
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Greg, come on man, let's put a ride home.
WSU Library is hosting a new exhibit on countercultural eating on the Palouse. Joshua Pike tells us more about what you can expect to find there.
WSU Libraries will be holding an exhibit on historical food in the Palouse with a focus on lentils from January to August of this year. Manuscripts librarian Will Gregg is one of the people behind organizing this event. He says the exhibit is made up of materials from not only WSU archives, but also from a few other libraries in the Pacific Northwest and abroad.
We wanted to create something that explored the history of food in our region, and in doing a little research, we found that the lentil was really the perfect way to encapsulate food history on the Palouse because it's so essential to the agriculture that takes place in this region.
Planning for the exhibit, titled Lentils and Countercultural Eating on the Palouse, started during spring semester last year, Greg says. The exhibit held its official opening from 2 to 4 p.m. last Wednesday.
And kind of in the summer, we started creating the mock-ups for the things that you see around the exhibit and the panels. Really, it's about the exhibit, so we're going to encourage people just to walk around and explore it.
Lentils are obviously a big part of this exhibit, and for a good reason, since in 1989, Pullman was named the lentil capital of the United States. And that's also for a very good reason, as 98% of lentil growth in the United States was done in the Palouse at that time. Now, in this exhibit, you'll find books, recipes, posters related to lentils, and all sorts of other memorabilia from the past.
I think that there's a lot to look at, but one of my favorite things is to see how people were very creative in the way they used lentils in the past. So there are some recipes that we have here and recipe books that you could see where people were developing lentil recipes in the early 1900s as fake meat substitutes. It seems like something, you know, these days it's kind of common to think about, you know, an Impossible Burger, but you don't really think about that same thing happening back in 1950. And so it's interesting to see what people were coming up with even back in that day.
Greg says he thinks people will enjoy the exhibit because whether or not they want to make use of the recipes they find, it may at least pique their interest in making a recipe with some history behind it. Josiah Pike, Murrow, News 8.
The Moscow Chamber of Commerce is gearing up for Moscow Winterfest, an 80s-themed ski party starting tomorrow, February 1st, in downtown Moscow. There will be over 20 local vendors in attendance, bringing hot food, beverages, tasty food, and activities for the whole family to enjoy. Winterfest is free to attend, and the event will start from 12 and end at 4 p.m.
The bus system in Moscow will be temporarily unavailable starting today. A brief announcement was posted on Smart Transit's website yesterday. It doesn't say much on why the bus service is temporarily not running, but it does say that it is due to unforeseen circumstances. Smart Transit officials say they are committed to working as fast as possible to restore the bus service in Moscow. Emma, have you seen Kruger and K-Mac Hall recently?
Well, what remains of it, Emma. I wonder what's going in its place.
Yeah. Well, let's see what Emery has to say about it.
Many of you might not recognize the site just behind me here, and that's because this is the demolition site for Kruger and K-Mac Hall.
The site used to look a lot more like this. However, this is how it looks nowadays. I talked with the project manager for the demolition, Cynthia Arbor, and she told me that the decision-making process is still ongoing for what will go in place of the former resident halls.
You know, the building is down now. Today is the last day that they're getting the material from the building off the site. So it should be mostly done now. It's just putting things back together again. And we're putting down some new soil, and we'll be putting down some irrigation and grass seed. So we've done a few student engagement events already back there close around Thanksgiving. We did several of them, and we have a survey that's going out maybe today, at least sometime in the next couple of days, that's going out to all the students to explore their desires, what they're thinking of for this area.
Cynthia also mentioned how they're even considering not even putting a building in the demolition site's place at all.
So we may or may not replace a building in the site where Krugel was. We sort of like our nice wide view that we have of Southside. It actually, Southside was always kind of tucked away behind all the buildings before. So now it's front and center and nice and visible. So we may leave it that way. I don't know. We'll see here. So we're still working our way through the process.
Keep an eye out for your email, Cougs, if you want to say of what becomes of the demolition site. This has been Emery LaFesti reporting for Murrow News 8, signing off.
This week's City Council meeting saw a lot of prominent business owners expressing concerns over foot traffic and support from the city itself. Here's what some of they had to say.
But I wanted to make the council and the city staff aware that foot traffic has actually decreased since the opening of Maine.
And just this week, I learned that I may have to move again. I don't believe that this is just my problem. It reflects a bigger issue with how Pullman supports small businesses.
I've been here for like 20-something years, and I understand what they're saying. It's kind of terrible out there. It like really is. It just sucks.
I don't know what the answer is. I think it's difficult just to say, let's all just shop downtown.
After historic wildfires and flooding damaged swaths of Los Angeles, Thursday night saw a benefit concert with a star-studded lineup to raise money for those affected. Marketed as Fire Aid, the concert had a lot of memorable moments from Lady Gaga to Green Day to Billie Eilish. But the night saw the reunion of Seattle grunge band Nirvana, with lead drummer Dave Grohl's daughter Violet stepping in for the band late singer Kurt Cobain when they performed the fan favorite My Apologies. If you want to donate, go to fireaidla.gov.
New information today from the Washington Post regarding the plane crash that killed 67 people at Reagan National Airport. As a preliminary report from the Federal Aviation Administration suggests that the control tower had only one official on duty to communicate with the Army helicopter and the passenger plane that collided in midair.
On Thursday, several top FBI officials were told to resign or retire, or else they would be fired. The group of fired employees included a group of executive assistant directors who oversee criminal, national security, and cyber investigations. The officials are career civil servants, so they cannot be fired without cause.
President Trump announced that the tariffs for Canada, Mexico, and China will all go into place tomorrow. Goods from China could be subject to 10% tariffs, while goods from Mexico and Canada could face tariffs up to 25%. President Trump said yesterday that he's, quote, in the process of implementing trade sanctions on China. President Trump also left the door open to include oil in the proposed tariffs.
Have you seen the Reuse Pass program around dining halls? Peyton will tell you more about it.
Waste, waste, and more waste. That is the problem that WSU Pullman Dining Services have faced in the past, and is the main reason that they implemented the Reuse program fall of 2023 with a partnership with Topanga, a reusable packaging company based out of LA. I'm here at Southside Dining Hall, where you can pick up and drop off containers just like these. The process for the containers starts right behind me, where there's a 3-day window after you eat your food and scan a QR code that you can return your containers. Once done with that, you have a 2-day warning, and if you can't get the container in by then, you have to pay a late fine. A quick and easy process, right? I talked to some students around campus that did not think so.
I don't really understand the purpose of it. I thought the cartons that you could just throw away were just fine. I feel like you're setting it up for more trouble.
I love the one-use reusable or the one-use containers just to get rid of them easy. and now they're fining us if we lose one of these things. I mean, it's not my fault if I lose it.
While some students did not embrace the switch, Director of Dining Services Jason Butcherite had this to say on the program.
We're always seeking student feedback. At the same time, as we continue to evolve and things modernize even more, and thinking about, sustainability and how it's integrated and just becoming a focal point and so many things in society, in the world, like, I don't think this is going to go away.
Butcherite said that over 4,200 students used Reuse Pass during the 2023-2024 school year, saving an estimated 72,000 pounds of waste and 50,000 gallons of water. Signs that the added effort from students and faculty alike are making a difference.
Butcherite added that dining services are looking to improve the student experience by potentially adding new varieties of containers, like a soup container, or maybe even taking some return bins like these and putting them near residence halls near you. This is Peyton Yeager reporting live from Southside Dining Hall. Matt, back to you.
And after the break, we'll head over to Macy on the weather wall.
And as Jon Snow from Game of Thrones would say, winter is here.
Days, months,
Hey, I'm Jim from across the street.
years,
I'd like to give you this.
a lifetime can rush by without realizing what we're missing. But it doesn't have to be that way. We have a choice to take action. Visit maketheconnection.net to find out more.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it.
Eastern Latah County is currently under a winter storm warning. The forecast is calling for up to 14 inches of snow above 3,000 feet and up to 4 inches of snow below that elevation.
Emma, it's our mortal enemy. I know. Macy, forgive us. We're probably going to close our eyes and cover our ears for this next bit because you're going to be talking about a lot of snow, right?
Thank you, Emmett. As Pullman has been pretty sunny these last couple of days, we can expect it to get a little bit colder today. Our forecast for today is a high of 40 degrees and a low of 31 with wind speeds of up to 12 miles per hour. And we can continue to see that forecast even tomorrow with a high of 37 and a low of 24 with high chance of snow. It's going to be very, very cold out there. You're going to want to have your car defrosted as well as wear extra layers for sure. And then on top of that, we can look at our state map today. Over here in Olympia, we have a high of 49 and a low of 35 with mainly rain. And then over here in Seattle, we have a high of 48 and a low of 35 with also rain. It's going to be rain all over the state today. Over here in Yakima, we have a high of 44 and a low of 25. Over here in the Tri-Cities, we have a high of 48 and a low of 34. And then over here on the way to Spokane, we have a high of 41 and a low of 31, also with rain. And then down here in Pullman, of course, we have a high of 40 and a low of 31 with rain and snow as well. Moving on to our weekly forecast, Saturday, as we said earlier, we can expect lots and lots of snow, so make sure you have your tires ready in store for you. Sunday, we can look at more of a rain to snow mixture with a high of 39 degrees and a low of 31. On Monday, it's going to be even colder. We have lots of more snow coming our way, unfortunately. We have a high of 38 degrees and a low of 28 degrees. And on Tuesday, we have a high of 35 and a low of 32. Again, that rain and snow mixture, unfortunately. And then back on Wednesday, we have a high of 40 degrees and a low of 31 with that rain and snow mixture. And I don't know about you guys, but I definitely have been working on defrosting my car every morning. It's been very, very cold, and having to scrape that ice off has been a pain. But unfortunately, Pullman is known for our snowy weather conditions, and that's what we are famous for. So back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you so much, Macy. Yeah, I had to scrape my car off this morning too. Emma, what can we look forward to after this break?
Well, after this break, we have everything WSU sports with Will.
Oh, sweet.
Dad, they took over my bedroom. Come on, come on. Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. Dad! You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
There. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Can I tell you another one? So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it. What's Beethoven's favorite fruit? Banana. What is a boxer's favorite drink? Fruit punch.
WSU women's basketball took on University of Pacific yesterday in Beasley Coliseum, with the Cougs winning 82-70. Eleanor Avila led all scorers with 23 points on 58% shooting from the field. The Cougs jumped to 14-10 on the season and are third in conference standings. The Cougs aim to extend their winning streak to 3 games tomorrow as they host the 4-16 University of San Diego. Tip-off is at noon in Beasley Coliseum. Men's basketball also had a battle with Pacific last night at the Spanos Center. The Cougs, who have been riding a strong start to the season, had hopes of avenging their loss to the Tigers earlier this month, but WSU struggled to keep pace with the Tigers again and suffered a 70-68 defeat. The Tigers secured their second win in WCC conference play. Both wins, you may ask, coming against WSU. The men's team is back on the road, headed to San Francisco to take on the 17-6 Dons. Tip-off is at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. The second-place Pullman Greyhounds take on the 0-7 Deer Park Stags tonight. Deer Park is coming into Pullman hoping to snap their 10-game multi-season losing streak and bounce back against their 74-37 loss against West Valley earlier this week. But the Stags have a tough task ahead of them tonight in the form of the red-hot 6-1 Pullman Greyhounds, just itching to push their win streak to 5 games and get right behind the first-place West Valley. Tip-off is at 7 o'clock tonight at the Pullman High School gym. Washington State swimming will close out the regular season with a pair of dual meets against Idaho. WSU is 6-0 for the first time since 2008-09 and is seeking its first 7-win season since 2015 to 2016. While an 8th win would match the program record, the first meet is at Gibb Pool. Tonight at 5 p.m. for senior night. Saturday's duel will be over at the UI Swim Center in Moscow at 10:30 a.m. The Washington State tennis team is back in Pullman to host BYU this afternoon. The Cougars are 3-0 at home this season and hope to close out the Mont by extending their home winning streak. BYU is off to a 2-2 start for the season. Matches begin at noon at the Similink Tennis Center at the Hollingberry Fieldhouse. Former Cougs are headed to the big game as Jaden Hicks and Jalen Watson will play for the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Hicks, selected in the 4th round of the 2024 NFL Draft, will be watching over the top as the starting safety, while Watson will be going in for the 3 rings in 3 years in his NFL career.
Are you ready for the weekend? And I don't mean Saturday or Sunday.
A new album making the possible end of a career coming up after the break.
Oh, did you see that? Whoa, we scored? Yeah, we scored. We're going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. What? I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Hey, why does my face look like that? I'm playing with these new face filters. Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine. I'm gonna need that back. No. Kevin!
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago, in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a 4th ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Yo, Scott.
Hey.
I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Oh, you know what? I was just in there. The line is like 10 people long.
You know, I think I'll just...
Dude, are you okay?
You wouldn't believe what I was just thinking. I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this, and I will take that ride home.
Smart man.
Did you see how that dog was looking at me?
What do you think you're doing, Kevin? Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfies. Nailed it. We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's put a ride home.
The Weeknd completed his 3-album trilogy and is apparently retiring now. This comes at a time where he is #2 in the world on Spotify with 117 million listeners.
Good. That's what I'll say. Good. Enjoy. Starboy, had fun. Great.
You ready for the Weeknd to retire?
Look, I'm ready for this weekend. That's what I'm focusing on. Yeah.
Yep, I feel ya.
All right.
How old is the Weeknd? He's got to be pretty young. I
I
wish
thought
I
he
could
was
retire
young.
at that age.
Yeah, I
It'd be
didn't
really
know.
nice.
Yeah, I know.
I'd say you host a Super Bowl. That's good enough for me.
That's the peak right there.
Yeah.
He's pulling a logic. He'll probably be on a Twitch stream, just be goofing off like T-Pain on the weekend. Yeah.
That's
the
the
weekend.
dream.
Ah, very funny.
Snoop Dogg, when he retired, invested in business. The music artist, whoever you are, get a good business going. I mean, I walked through Walmart and saw the Snoop Dogg cookbook.
Well, look, okay, let's talk about the artist that's going to be in the Super Bowl. It's Kendrick, right? That top dog, that's who we should be focusing on. Weekend, I'm glad that you have your moment in the sunshine, but I'm really looking forward to this Super Bowl
I am
halftime
too.
show.
I'm a big Kendrick Lamar fan, so I'm pretty excited.
Hopefully we can expect some cookbooks from both of them in the near future.
Yeah.
Yep, I completely agree.
Thank you so much for watching today's show. You can follow us on social media, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, all the fun jazz.